Baloch think Pakistan will not change for the good. It will only get worse. This is what we have been experiencing. We are all humans, first and foremost. But unfortunately, that's not how the Pakistan state ideology is structured. The Pakistan state ideology says the Hindu is your enemy, the Jew is your enemy, the Christian is your enemy. Brainwash the child Pakistani from childhood. You see, we don't share that world outlook. We don't call ourselves Pakistanis. We are Baloch. And sometimes some of our friends from Balochistan also come outside. Like in this Amnesty report, I would please point out one small thing, which was, I think, not right. And that was that the Baloch are demanding greater resources. No, that chapter is closed. Long closed. When the Balochistan governor and former chief minister Nawab Akbar was killed, you see, that led to great despondency among the Baloch. He was considered one of the most powerful personalities in Balochistan. But a third-rate military dictator, coup leader, who had no basis in Pakistan, Parvez Musharraf, he went and, you see, got a personal vendetta against that man and got him killed. And ever since, you see, every Baloch you ask, some Baloch will be maybe a little afraid and will say, okay, not say it publicly, but in the heart of their heart, they hate Pakistan. I too hate Pakistan in the political sense, because what Pakistan stands for, it's a very dangerous place, very, very dangerous place for the entire world. And we want to make it a little less dangerous by getting Balochistan out of it.
Can I just ask one question? I read somewhere, I think it was the Daily Times, and it was an editorial and a comment piece on the recent political killings. And the journalist didn't say it explicitly, but he inferred that the organisation, Sipa-e-Shuhada, was actually a fictitious organisation. And from the sense of reading his article, it almost sounded as if the Pakistan military had created that organisation as a front to conduct atrocities. Is that your sense?
Yes, it is. You see, they have created so many organizations that are now even haunting them their own selves. You see, every day, every week, you look at how many headlines are coming from Pakistan, and that is the military's own creation. That's why we don't feel sorry for them, because if you create these kind of people, you brainwash them, you tell them that Christian, Hindu, Jew is your enemy, then where do you lead to? You see, you lead into this situation. It's all Pakistan's own. At one time, America was also trying to help it somewhat, but for 18, 20 years, America is not part of this nonsense that Pakistan is still continuing. And I don't think, you see, I don't know how. I wish there was a way. I wish there might have been a magic wand that would have changed them. But we don't see any change coming in Pakistan. It's a lost case.
I was interested to hear James Nichol, when he was giving out the testimony, mentioning the role of the CIA. Can you elaborate a bit more about that in the context of Balochistan and the human rights situation there?
CIA is a very big organization. We want friends on everywhere. To get rid of Pakistan, CIA is not helping even us a little bit. For them, the Pakistani military chief is a celebrity. For them, you see, CIA and the US Senate, the Pakistani military chief is the celebrity. And it's unfortunate. And CIA role in world affairs is not something very nice to talk about. And that's all I can say.
Any more questions? Yes.
I see there are Balochs in Afghanistan, in Iran, and in Pakistan. Do you think each part of Baloch to solve the situation of Baloch in that part of the country, or you want to struggle for a unified Baloch independent country?
Now they are separated, right? Right now, as we speak, there are three parts which the British created. You are a Kurd, you understand better. We think the Kurdish people are our closest. We are in the whole of this area, Greater Middle East. We identify ourselves with the Kurdish people. We look upon them as our closest similarities, language, culture, everything. Now these borders that the British had drawn are not sacrosanct. They drew borders in a very, very hasty way for which we are still suffering. I don't know, unfortunately for the white man, the brown man doesn't matter, and that has been the case when they made these borders. And we are having to pay a heavy price for that. In Afghanistan, Baloch is something different. They are quite, you see, at home there. But in Iran, no. In Iran, Baloch have a huge problem. And my friends which are now under the part of Iran, they can explain better. But we have a huge problem with the Iranian Ayatollahs, just as we have a huge problem with this Wahhabi-financed military institution of Pakistan. So we have problems with both of these people, and we are secular. We don't bring in there, you see, that religion. We don't bring in religion in our everyday. But we are now being threatened, because just next door there is Taliban. 10 miles, 20 miles away there is Taliban. Pakistan has still supporting it. Pakistan is not taken out its hands out of Taliban. So all our political, social, our values, secular values, all those are under threat. So any people who want to you see, defeat this Taliban should in one way or the other, and in whatever way possible, help the Baloch people.
More questions? Yeah, last question.
You often in the newspapers, people are asking who are the moderate Muslims. Are the Baloch people moderate Muslims?
Yeah, they are Muslim majority, but you see, by religion they are mostly Muslim and mostly Sunni. There is no doubt about that. But they don't carry it, you see, everywhere. They just keep it to themselves, which is all right for us.
What's the practice called in where you claim that another Muslim is not really a Muslim? I think that I've heard that there's a problem with Muslims claiming that other Muslims aren't real Muslims.
Yeah, that's it.
But I don't. Is that the case also in Balochistan?
In Balochistan, thankfully, we don't have this. You see, in Balochistan, we have about, I'm not sure what's the exact percentage, but about 20% or 15%. We call them Zikri.
Yeah.
They are a religious minority. So one brother can be a Zikri, the other brother can be Sunni, the husband can be Zikri, the wife can be Sunni, and
okay,
they have intermarriages.
I was maybe more thinking along.
Yeah, and the good thing about the Zikri is, you see, they don't go for Hajj to Saudi Arabia. They do their Hajj over there in Balochistan.
Because I was thinking about the Ahmadiyya Muslims who are also being persecuted in Pakistan.
Yeah, they are from Punjab.
And they are declared not to be real Muslims, right?
Yeah, they are very killed in Pakistan. They are persecuted, but they are mostly from the Punjab.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys are not only in Pakistan. Even in Norway, their mosque was attacked by the Pakistani Muslims. So it is sad, you see.
But that's not the same
I mean, they are different. They are.
problem as with the Baloch people. That's more
Thankfully, we
region.
don't have this problem. Thankfully, we have kept the Saudi influence out, but I don't know how long we can do it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Musikan. So we have heard the presentations of our speakers. The first speaker spoke on her personal testimony of a victim uprooted from her country and who, despite the loss of her identity, never loses hope. Then the second speaker is a lawyer who spoke and who personally documented testimonies of witnesses about the ordeal, and for telling the truth, they were in the process killed or made to disappear. Then the third speaker spoke about general situation of disappearances in Balochistan and the effects of the crime of enforced disappearance against and the effects on the families of the victims. Then the fourth speaker spoke on the persecution of human rights defenders in the process of defending human rights. They themselves were made to disappear or were extrajudicially killed. And our last speaker spoke on Balochistan, the situation in Balochistan, and in general he spoke of a bleeding Balochistan and the sleeping Geneva, and therefore he calls for concrete actions from us and from the international community so that this crime against humanity of enforced disappearance and other forms of human rights violations will never happen again. So with this, I would like to conclude this morning session. I'm not okay. Thank you very much.